Ma'am, first of all, thank you for joining us. And I would like to ask you, the WPL auction is about to start, and there are so many places up for grabs. So many players will be under the hammer, including Emily Akar, Meg Lanning, Aditi Sharma. How are you looking forward to this WPL auction, especially when we have just won the World Cup?
Exciting. It will be obviously exciting to watch eight marquee players getting into the auction pool. How are they stacking up in the auction pool against each other, and also how are the franchisees looking at these eight players in the marquee pool? So that will be very interesting for me because that will be the first group that comes up for in the auction. After that, also the players which are listed after them, whether it's which wicket keeper goes where, which team has decided to keep who as their captain, especially the ones, especially for UP Delhi to decide or to announce their captain, especially for UP. So it will all be very interesting to think and just get into those discussion groups as to what might be their strategy.
Especially when you talk about this auction. I mean, a lot of players who have were not who are under the hammer must be really eager to know what's going to happen. Especially, I mean, that something big is coming, and it's already big now before it started.
Yes and no. Probably eagerness will of course be there with the players because a that you want to be a part of the WPL. If you're not picked in the auction, then you will obviously have to wait for your turn in case there is a replacement or in case you get called up later. So first and foremost, you want to be picked by one of those franchisees. And also the eagerness will remain for which team you play for because there's obviously sometimes for a player there can be a preference. And when I say there shouldn't be much eagerness, is because you cannot do anything in the auction when you get there. Which name comes out? What is the purse remaining for the franchisees? How do they see that player add into their scheme of things. So there are a lot of permutation and combination in that scheme of things. But at the end of the day, as a player, once you've dropped your name into that big pool, it's how it comes out. It's your luck.
I'm now talking about one more team which has won the World Cup, and that is the women's blind cricket team. They just won the T20 World Cup. So good to see, despite difficulties in their life, they're representing the country and then winning the World Cup for the country. How do you see the blind women team winning the T20 World Cup?
It's such a nice thing that the men's have won a World Cup, the women's team has won an ODI World Cup. Now the blind cricket team for women has won a World Cup. I think it's at the end of the day when you see the tricolour flying high, it reminds you of the biggest achievement that you have as a player is winning a World Cup. So the moment the tricolour goes up, it's always a special feeling. And for this team to have won this so convincingly, I think it's amazing. We talk about challenges. I think you can just look at the direction of this present Indian team, how they have countered all their challenges and still emerged victorious. I think there's no reason to complain about anything further.
And I'm now talking about the men's team. Unfortunately, we lost second test match, two back-to-back series, clean sweep at home. This really hurts. What do you have to say?
No, any loss hurts. I think as an Indian team, whether you lose at home or whether you lose abroad, any loss hurts. So it obviously is not going to go down well with the Indian team. It's not going to go down well with anybody. Look, we are a country in which I always feel and believe that we only want the results coming our way. I'm sure other nations also, everybody else does, but we specifically just feel that it's absolutely unfair if the result doesn't come our way. And when I say unfair, it's not about somebody else getting the result. It's about we not playing to the best of our abilities. So yes, this loss will also hurt us, and I'm sure everybody in the dressing room, everybody around the dressing room is also feeling the hurt.
Ma'am, question comes in, since they're losing at home. Can't we not play spin anymore? Is the question. 293 all out in Kolkata, 160 all out here, and 201 all out in the first innings. Can't we not play in our home conditions spin properly?
Again, if you're obviously getting dismissed to spin, then yes, that is a challenge. It's about understanding and identifying that yes, that is a challenge for us. If it's just a one-off time that has happened to us, then we can say that we didn't judge the length or the line or whatever the skill might be. We were unable to cope with that. But if it's happening repeatedly and it's happened very many times, then obviously it's an alarming situation which needs to be addressed. Rather than fighting a situation and proving anyone else by saying no, that's not the case. If spin has been an undoing for many batters individually or as a team collectively, then it has been. So I'm sure that needs to be addressed very urgently. And every player, every cricketer would know what is the challenge, and I'm sure they'll look to overcome it.
Of course, remember, just a lot of questions are coming that we have got a great system. We have an IPL which produces such good players, the white ball. We have a WPL. Now it is giving us results. We have won the World Cup. Somehow, focus too much on Test cricketing, on white ball cricket and T20s has taken us away from the ultimate format of the game, which is red ball cricket.
So, it is not a machine, and human bodies don't function, neither does a mindset function like a machine. That is why there are some emotions, and that is how there is a human error. So we were, very much focused on winning T20 World Cup. Then prior to that, we were focused on winning the ODI World Cup, and I think as an Indian team, we did very well there in both the formats. Prior to that, ODI World Cup, we were very keen on winning the World Test Championship as well. And not one, we were there in the finals of World Test Championship twice. I think that consistency was there. It's not that, I will not say that the focus has gone away, but when you're shifting formats, and it's not always that you'll be facing a team which is ranked lower to you. You'll be facing a team which is ranked higher to you in different conditions, and each time it's not very easy to adapt. That is one way of looking at it. The other way is also about having adequate skill level to countering that. I'm not saying that players in this Indian team, because they've lost, they don't have the skill level, but obviously what is it that they practice most times? They're practicing white ball because they're moving towards a T20 World Cup, or either they're moving towards an ODI World Cup. Only when they were moving towards the World Test Championship, I thought we were flawless, especially in that first year when we played the final in England. I thought we were very, very good in Test match cricket. So the format changes, the technique changes, the temperament is altered to suit that format. In Test match cricket, obviously everything is at Test. So I guess because we are not playing as an Indian team, senior men's team is not playing those many Test matches. And if they are, then obviously, the competition is top class, it's world class. So yes, we are falling short of the victory, but I will not say that they don't know how to play Test match. It's just that the practice of playing against quality bowling unit has reduced in the number of past few months. Possibly that's one of the big reasons.